All righty, everybody. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome to the Saxton Show. We are on episode 3. Guys, I'm so excited for the day. Drop a one in the chat. I see we have a couple of people watching live here. Let me tell you, I am excited to be here. Whether you're watching me live right now, which I appreciate you even more for giving me your valuable time, or whether you're watching the recording, I'm here to serve you at the highest level. And we got a jam-packed lesson for today. I am excited. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about how to reset your internal programs to attract effortless success. Effortless success. You know, this world is not supposed to be difficult. In a minute today, you're going to be learning about the idea of the paradigm and a paradigm. And that when you get this one thing in alignment, it's like the floodgates of abundance and money starts to flow to you. You know, one of the things that Napoleon Hill says is that when riches come, they come in such abundance and from like in such abundance that you will wonder where they was during all those lean years. And let me tell you this, that's one thing that I started to feel when my life took off once I met Bob Proctor. I started to earn, there was points where I was earning more in a day than I had earned in multiple years combined. So why is it? Why is it that the rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer? Why is it that you're going into your business and you're trying to go out there? If you're watching my channel, most of the people that watch my channel are entrepreneurs, starting out entrepreneurs, trying to earn their first $1 million. They're in network marketing, they have agencies, or maybe they simply are thinking about starting their own business, right? Or they're in some kind of sales position. So, here's the common error that most people have is that they think that in order to go out there and turn their annual income into their monthly income, to earn 6 figures, to earn 7 figures, that they need more information, that they need more hard work and effort. And let me tell you this, I like quantum moves. Drop a 7 in the chat if you want to have quantum moves. What does that mean? What is a quantum move? What is the one thing that you can do such that by doing it, you earn more in 1 hour or 1 day or 1 month than you would your entire year of effort? It's called turning your annual income into your monthly income in the effortless way. Did you know that you can put in less work, less effort, and actually get more done? And we're in a society right now that they push so much on us when it comes to effort. But if there's one thing that you're going to learn about today, it's not about effort. It's not about what you know. It's about what you do. But most importantly about that, it's how you're programmed. It's your internal program. So I'm excited today. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the show below. Whether you're watching me live right now or you're watching the recording, go ahead and hit that subscribe because we're going to grow this community. You know, the hype was coming out that, all right, DeAndre's starting a show. Let me join in for the first couple calls. You know, but the people that are watching live right now, you are literally pioneering a community. Because think about this. At one point, Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, they were not the Bob Proctors and the Tony Robbins of the world. There was a point where Tony Robbins was throwing a seminar and only his mom showed up. But look at the people that show up now. 30,000, 20,000, millions of people around the world. And that's you that are here in this community. So if there's one thing that I could do with you, if I could ask of you guys, go ahead and share this. Share the link. You're going to see it below. Share the link with either your group chat or with two people that would be fascinated with this information, whether they're on your upline, sideline, in your business, coworker, or just simply in your group chat. Share this out there so we can get more people watching us live. And while you're at it, go ahead and smash that like button, and let's go ahead and let's get started. So here's the big promise. At the end of today's call, you're going to have such awareness about how you've manifested your current results that you're going to feel like you took control back over your life. You know, one of the weird things about my industry is like I'm a mindset coach, right? Some people put me as a motivator. I'm not a motivator. And mindset, that's so broad. But when you look at it, mindset accounts for 95% of the results somebody gets in their life. Success comes down to 95% mindset, 5% tactic. But how often do we actually hear that? We're not only just hear that, how often do we actually learn how to apply it? So in a minute, what we're going to talk about is a couple things that I've learned from my mentor. I've studied with Bob Proctor now for 2 years, and it's completely changed my life. I went from a guy that was sleeping on a couch, not earning more than $2,000-$3,000 a month, to earning 7 figures at the age of 25 years old. And my mission, for literally for free on this podcast, is to give you the insight that I learned day to day, studied, and have documented. So if you're ready to rock and roll, drop a 3 in the chat so we can make some things happen for you. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about it. What is my purpose here? What is my purpose giving you guys all this information and all this knowledge? Is to educate you. But let me give you a definition of education. Education does not mean teaching people what they do not know. Education means to teach people how to behave in the ways that they don't behave now. In a minute, we're going to talk about action. Everybody always loves to talk about law of attraction, law of attraction. It's like one of the most searched things on YouTube. But most people think that law of attraction just means sitting down on the couch and, putting it on a goal card and just thinking that things are going to come. It's not. It's so much more than that. It's so much deeper. Like the movie The Secret brought a lot of awareness around this information, but there's a couple things that you need to know. Here's my role as a mentor in your journey. My role is to give you awareness so you can act differently, behave in different ways. And as you behave in different ways, you will start to attract or manifest or bring new things into your life. In this case, we're going to focus on the area of purpose, passion, and profits. Having purpose in your life, waking up and being excited for life, knowing where you're going. Number 2, loving what you do, right? That's the passion about life, helping other people in the process. And number 3, which is profits, earning a lot of money in the process of it. So we really don't need more information to do a better job. We just simply have to start doing what we already know how to do. Here's a quick little story. So, when I had my first 6-figure month, and the reason I talk about that phase, family, is not to brag or boast, but to tell you that if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. It doesn't matter about how much I'm earning now, 2 years in. It's about where you are at and what you could be doing 60 to 90 days from now. So back when I had my first 6-figure month, what was the funniest thing about that whole scenario? I did no networking. I read no additional books. I didn't join any Zoom calls. I didn't watch any YouTube videos. I was simply the same. I was literally the same person that started that month of April. and ended that month of April, I was the same person. But here was the thing that did change: my internal state. I had rewired the inner programs of my mind. And what happened is when you start to change the inside world, the outside world will start to match. Write this down if you're taking notes. The outside world is a mirror. The outside world is a mirror, and it will always reflect back to you your insecurities or what you really believe about yourself and the world. If you see the world as angry, not being able to trust it, really the universe is reflecting or attracting back to you the actual desires that are deep down within you. And when you take responsibility of that, you can start to change. So I was the same person. And let me tell you this right now. I want you to sit down and relax right now and think about this. Right now, with the knowledge that you have, that you've gathered up to this point, you can turn your annual income into your monthly income. I want you to let that sink in. Better yet, what if you could just simply double your income in the next 30 days? Right? You might be saying, DeAndre, turn my annual income into my monthly income. That sounds like a big stretch. Okay, then let's play it smaller then. What if we simply doubled your income in the next 30 days? And imagine you could do that as the same person you are now, externally. No additional knowledge, no additional reading or books or seminars or events. That's what we're talking about here. So what is it that's going on here? Is we're doing things that we don't want to do, getting results that we don't want to get. And for some strange reason, we keep doing them anyways. Hold on, let me get this chat. I just saw the chat right now. Let me block this person so you can't join back in. Okay, great. All right, we cleared the chat. My bad. I wasn't looking at the chat. I was working with you guys. For some strange reason, we know what to do, but we simply do something different. That is a thing that we're going to talk about, and that's called your paradigm or your programming. Write that down. It's your paradigm or your programming. Why is it that we continually do things that produce results that we don't want? It's the word paradigm. So what is a paradigm? A paradigm is a multitude of your habits. Think of it as your mental conditioning or your mental programming. It's your mental conditioning or your mental programming. So while you're taking notes, family, I want to go ahead and what was I going to say? Go ahead and like this video, because guys, one thing is I charge a lot of money. So if somebody wants to work with me, it actually costs lots of money. And the fact that I'm giving this away for free, especially to the 6, 7, 8 people that are watching now, I want to thank you. Not only for your time, but also for sharing this content. Because you know what's the funniest thing? You know what's the funniest thing about this on a side note? All this information that I'm sharing with you is already out there for free somewhere on YouTube, books, podcasts, and blogs. But there's some funny reason that when us humans pay for this information and spend thousands of dollars, we actually pay attention. That's literally it's literally the perception on this information that allows us to take it serious and change our life with it. You know, this information, this book right here that I have, the program that I took with Bob that changed my life, I paid $30,000 or $33,000 for it. When at that point, I didn't even have $120, $180. But because I paid $30,000 for it, I took it serious. And that's what we have to do with a call like this is, right, it's a live stream and you're watching it for free. But if you sit down and you take this seriously, even for free, this will change your life. So change it. Like I want you to see a paradigm, almost like a governor on a car. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the word governor. Governor is like a speed limiter. Okay. So imagine you have a Ferrari. You have a Ferrari, but there's a governor on it or a speed limiter where you can't go faster than 60 miles per hour. Does it matter if you have a Ferrari once you get on the freeway when you have a Toyota Corolla that can get up to 100 miles per hour? Who will win the race? Even though you have the Ferrari with the speed limiter at 60 miles per hour. You see, that is literally what a paradigm is to you and to all of us. We can say positive affirmations. We can say we want to be wealthy, healthy, have relationships, have love, and all these kind of stuff. But until we take that programming and reset the internal programs that have been set into us, nothing will change. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day, and 90% of them are the same thoughts as the day before. So what that is telling us is that 90% of the thoughts that we're thinking of on a daily basis are our internal programs. And let me tell you this, if you look left, you look right, you look in front of you, you look behind you, you look in your bank account, and you're not liking the results, you're programmed not for what you want. Your program is running against you. Your program is running against you. And once you start to bring awareness to what that is, you can start to change it. Think about this, guys. When you imagine you're at the mall. You're at the mall and you go to a map at the mall and you're trying to find a little store of, like, let's just say you're trying to find a restaurant. Let's just say you're trying to go find a restaurant. When you look at that map, typically or traditionally, you're going to see a red marker on that map. Drop in the chat right now. What does that red marker mean? What does that red marker, when you see on that map? Typically, that red marker says you are here. You are here. The first step that you must understand is, how have you gotten to where you're at? So many people are playing this positive mindset game. They're trying to go out there and change their life, but they don't even know where they're at. They haven't even taken down a moment to get honest with themselves. We must first gather awareness to know where we're at so that we can go ahead and start planting those changes, right? Episode 1 was having a goal card and knowing where we want to go. You see, you've already taken the time to get an understanding of how to do what you do more effectively. Now, all you have to do is override the old paradigm and watch your effectiveness skyrocket. You see, that's called a quantum leap. What is a quantum leap? Going from the first floor to the penthouse in the effortless way. You see, let's just say you're going to walk inside of a building. There's two ways that you can actually go to the top of the building. The first one is taking the stairs. Let's just say there's 50 floors. There's 58 floors in my building. We can take the stairs, right? That's hard work, effort, or we could take the elevator. Which one would you rather take? Number 1, the stairs, or number 2, the elevator? You see, the elevator is a quantum leap. It bypasses effort because you're aware of something that's faster. That is literally what the paradigm becomes when you start to understand and rewrite it. It's like your life changes overnight. That's why I'm not too far-fetched when I say turn your annual income into your monthly income, because you start to take the elevator in your life. And you don't take the elevator by gathering more knowledge. You take the elevator by simply rewiring how you see yourself. So what I want to do now is I want to take a moment and I want to introduce you guys to a concept here. And let's go ahead and let me bring this up. Boom. Let's go. So what is a paradigm once again? A paradigm, I want you to see it as a mental program. It's a mental program that resides within your subconscious mind. That says subconscious. Your paradigm is a set of programs that reside within your subconscious mind. Your paradigm has 100% exclusive control over how much money you will earn. 100% exclusive control about how much money you earn. So guess what? Look at January, right? We just started the month of February. How much did you earn last month? And if we were to be honest with ourselves, you probably earned just about the same as you did in December. And if not, something close to what you did this time last year. Why? Not because of how hard you work or how much knowledge you gathered, because you're probably a little bit smarter this year than you were last year because you read more books, gathered some more information. So consciously, Analytically, you're a little bit smarter, but yet the results are similar, give or take 5-10%. Why? Is because of this thing called the paradigm. It's the mental programming. If you're programmed to earn $75,000 a year, no matter how hard you work, how many hours you put in, how many people you recruit, how many books you read, how many events you go to, everything will continue to be the same because you're programmed for $75,000. If you go a little bit above that, you'll start to self-sabotage, take breaks, go out, self-distract, self-medicate, self-sabotage yourself. If you get a little bit below that, you get uncomfortable, maybe your savings accounts dips a little bit lower than what you're used to, you'll turn the gas on, start working a little bit harder, maybe taking off weekends, and then you'll get above what you're used to, and then self-sabotage yourself back. And it's up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And results stay like that for year after year, and you wonder, why are my results so inconsistent? Why is my income so inconsistent? Why is it that I can't go out there and build the life that I want? It's just like I feel like I don't have control. Why? We just learned it. It's because of this thing called the paradigm. It's the mental programming that has us by the throat, by the mind, and by the body. Does that make sense now? So I want to go ahead and talk about another thing. The paradigm. So we understand that it's a mental program. It's this part of us, like an internal okay, like let me give you a couple examples of what a paradigm would be. So right now, I live in Miami, most of you guys know, and I currently have the thermostat turned on because I be getting hot, right? I be doing this podcast and I be getting hot, right? Motivating and talking and getting all energetic and stuff. So I have the thermostat currently set up to 71 degrees. It's a little cool. Let's just say it starts getting up to 72, 73, right? I have the lights on. I'm all excited here. And so what will happen? The thermostat will kick on and bring the temperature back down to 71 degrees where I have it set. Here's what most people will do is they will try to fix the temperature of the room rather than go to the thermostat. The thermometer, right? The one that's tracking the temperature is not what's wrong. It's the programming that's wrong. If we change the programming from 71 to say 75, then the temperatures will change. See, represent those temperatures with your income, with the amount of people you bring into your business, how many people you recruit, your sales team, your sales volume, your income. Those numbers are the same as the thermostat. No matter how hard you work, it will reset the thermostat and it will bring the temperature back to where you initially have it programmed. Does that make sense? That is the paradigm. So now we have awareness of this idea of a paradigm, right? Drop a 3 in the chat if that makes sense to you. If you're kind of getting this idea of what a paradigm is. Yes, yes, yes. Cool. So why is it that we have this paradigm? Where did it come from? And then how can we change it? So we're going to talk about two parts of the mind right now. One of them is the conscious. Conscious. Oh my gosh, hold on. I got to write the whole word together or I spaz out. So you have the conscious mind. What is the conscious mind? The conscious mind is our thinking mind. It's our thinking mind. It's our analytical mind. It's the mind that you're using right now to understand me, to live your life. We've been programmed since children to go to school, learn information, memorize that information, regurgitate the information back onto what we call a test, do that long enough, and now you're successful and you have a college degree on a piece of paper that says you're good at memorizing stuff. But then those people go out to the world and they have a boatload of information, but yet they're not like living the life that you want. Drop a 3 in the chat if that makes sense, if you know what kind of people I'm talking about. Nothing wrong with them. They might be good people. They have a lot of information. They have degrees, but yet they're not earning the income that you want to earn because it's not what you know, it's what you do. It's because this conscious mind controls 5% of our results. 5%. Literally, the knowledge that we use to join on Zoom calls and read books and go to seminars and gather information and memorize information and watch a bunch of YouTube videos on how to manifest and change your life and all this stuff and sales, all of that. The amount of knowledge that you gather, It only controls 5% of how much you will earn this year. You see, the conscious mind has your 5 senses hooked up to it. You can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch because of your conscious mind. I want to go ahead and break that down a little bit more, right? So let's repeat that one more time. What is the conscious mind? It's your thinking mind. It's your analytical mind. It's your mind that you use your entire life to memorize information, because we're programmed that if you take notes, join calls like this, read books, go to seminars, go to events, watch all the training videos at your network marketing company, go to all the sales meetings at your company, that if you do these things that you'll be successful. But then we're not successful. Why? Because of the program, that paradigm. We have to change some things. We have to gain awareness, start to see things in a different way. You see, that paradigm is a lens on the world. It's a lens in which you see the world. Change that paradigm and watch how your world changes. So we're still on this idea here of the conscious mind. That says conscious, okay? That says conscious. So we have 5 senses here. Actually, let me clean this up. I want to share this with you. Drop a 7 in the chat, family, if you guys are if you're liking this, you're enjoying it, you're having a good time with this. Yes, yes, yes. I'm curious right now. What's been your biggest takeaway so far? What's been your biggest takeaway? Whether you're watching this multiple times because you're my coaching program, or watching this for the very first time, what's been your biggest takeaway so far? Drop it in the chat. So we're focusing here on the conscious mind. What I like to say about the conscious mind is there's 2 parts to it. There are physical. The word I'm going to use here is faculties, okay? Faculties. There's physical faculties and there's spiritual faculties. What's a faculty? It's like a tool, like a toolbox, okay? So you have physical toolboxes and spiritual toolboxes. Well, what would that look like? Well, let's focus on the physical. What are your physical toolboxes or physical faculties that you have that are connected to the conscious mind? That being see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Those are your 5 senses. See, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Those are physical senses that keep you connected to the world in which you live. But guess what? Your dog can also see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Horses can also see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. So what separates you from every other living creature? It's not your physical senses or your physical faculties, your physical tools. It's your spiritual tools. And these spiritual tools are the one thing that separate us from all other living creatures. And it is these faculties that you will use to change your life. I like to call them PRIM. PRIIM. What does that stand for? Perception. Perception is one of them. The other one is reasoning, your ability to think. Your dog can't think, or at least think in complex cycles like you can. Your dog can only be a dog, but you can be whatever you want to be. You can be a singer, an actor, a movie star, an entrepreneur. The next one is intuition. It has been said that prayer is us speaking to God. Intuition is God speaking to us. Your intuition is it like your sixth sense. It's your ability to tap in to like your internal compass. It's like the God that lives within you telling you to move left, move right, do this, don't do this. It's like that internal moral compass. That's your intuition. The next one, imagination, which I believe is one of the most important one. Imagination. Your imagination is your ability to create a new world that could be more real than the outside world, all in the inside. Let me repeat that one more time. Imagination is your ability to create a new world internally that eventually could one day be more powerful than the world that you see with your eyes. We don't see with our eyes, our physical eyes, we see with our mind. Don't know what I'm talking about? Close your eyes right now and simply imagine what it would look like for you to drive your dream car, to buy your dream home, to retire your parents, to never have to go back to that job, to be the $1 million club in your company, to be the number one salesperson in your office. Close your eyes and see that. You see, you don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. That's your imagination. Then we have M, which stands for memory. Memory. We can memorize things. We don't have to constantly put new information into our mind. And this is almost where the programming starts to happen. See, imagine if you had to relearn English every single day. You had to relearn how to drive every day. You had to relearn how to write every single day. You see, our brains have developed in a way that we can start to memorize things so we can have them as building blocks to improve ourselves day by day, year by year, millennium by millennium. That is because of our memory. We have extensive memories compared to other living creatures. And the final one being will. Your will. What is the will? Your will is your ability to focus on one idea to the exclusion of everything else until it is done. It's your focus ability. Like I have my will, I'm using my will. And by the way, will is finite. That means it can run out. It can run out. You only have a finite amount of will each and every day. Think of it as like at the end of the day, if you've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of action, you're more susceptible to giving in to things that you wouldn't do. Why? Because your will is finite. There's only a certain amount of will. But when it's powerful like at the beginning of the day, when it's fully built up, because you're starting a fresh new day, you can focus on one thing and not have to be worried about other things. I'm using my will right now to build this YouTube channel, this YouTube show. I'm using my intuition that told me, DeAndre, you should build a live podcast so you can build a community. I'm using my imagination that says, I see 10,000 people watching this show live. The number says 9. I see 9,000. And I bring the energy as if 9,000 people are here. I must bring the energy first before the people come. Build it and then they'll come. You don't see the people and then you get excited. No, you get excited, then the people will come because of the energy that you're bringing. You see, you flip it. So I imagine what I want my life to look like. And then using my will, I see that this is going to happen. And I execute week by week, week by week, content by content, show by show until it must manifest. Okay? Is that making sense? Drop a 3 in the chat if this is making sense for you so far. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Have you shared the show yet? Have you liked the video? Go ahead and make sure you like the video, because here's what happens. When you like the video, YouTube likes when you engage and you leave comments below and they share this out with other people. All right, so let's move on to the next half. So we've learned about the conscious mind. That's everything we just talked about right there is the conscious mind. But once again, that part of us, I don't know where I wrote it at. I'll write it again. That part of us only controls 5% of our results. Only 5%. Everything I just covered that last 10, 15 minutes controls 5% of what your income will be this year. Because there's another part that's even more powerful. And that is your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind. This is the powerhouse now. The subconscious mind is the big daddy. Is the one that controls 95% of your results. Well, if the conscious mind is our thinking mind, what does that put the subconscious mind? The subconscious mind is your feeling mind. It's your emotional mind. It's your unconscious. Oops. That says habits. It's your unconscious habits. That right there is the subconscious mind. It's also where your paradigm lays. That multitude of your habits, remember that conditioning? What is it? Your mental programming. What is that? What's another word for mental programming? Your unconscious habits. You don't have to relearn English. You don't have to relearn how to drive. You don't have to relearn all these different things that you've learned because of your memory and your unconscious habits, like muscle memory. But the thing is that mental program, those muscle memories aren't to our benefit for us to make money. You go into business, and here's one thing about business: expose business will expose your paradigm. Business will, especially network marketing, if that's what you do, because it's a voluntary army. It will expose your true habits, because now for the first time, you have to work for yourself. Wake up at a certain time, go to bed at a certain time, build self-disciplines, make money, save money, invest money, put money to work, all these different things. And you go into business because at a job, you don't got to do any of that stuff. You just show up to the job, put in just enough work so they don't fire you, and they pay you just enough so you don't quit. Job stands for just over broke. But when you get into business, it doesn't work like that. Business, you got to discipline yourself. And when you get into business, the paradigm kicks in, and now you don't like the results that your business, and you blame the business, and you join another business, another company, join another sales team, another office. But at the end of the day, the common denominator between all success was you. You take responsibility for that. But at the end of the day, it's you, but it's not you here. It's you here. It's the body. It's the paradigm. It's your unconscious habits. Those unconscious habits constitute 95% of the results you'll get this year. Why? It's because it's tied into your emotions. It's tied into the posture of your heart. You can say, I want to earn more money, but then your heart gets, you drop your heart when you look at your bank account or the results are not there. See, it's the posture of your heart that sends out the frequency that starts to attract the people, situation, circumstances, and money back to you. Does this make sense? Does this make sense here? Drop a 3 in the chat if you guys are resonating with me right now. It's not what you think here. The mind is just the catalog. You select, I want to earn 30,000 per month, 50,000 per month, 100,000 a month, $1 million a year, save $1 million, whatever it is. That's simply the catalog, but you also have to place the order. Imagine you're at a restaurant. You're selecting how much money you want to earn, right? Or selecting the food off of the menu. But if you never speak to the waiter, then you will never get your order placed. Well, what is placing the order in this case? It's the heart. It's the feeling. When you place the feeling along with the order, now the waiter understands and he will bring you what you've ordered. Your mind can say, I want to earn money. I'm financially abundant. I'm a money magnet. I'm so happy and grateful that I earn 50,000 a month or 10,000 a month or whatever your goal is. But then your feelings say something else. You wake up and you feel broke, busted, and disgusted. You feel the lack. You're saying you're trying to earn money. You want to earn money. And that lack is really what you attract. It's the feeling and the posture of your heart. And that's where the subconscious mind, that's where the paradigm resides. So let's dive deeper on this idea of the paradigm. So how was the paradigm actually formed? We're going to put this word here, paradigm. You see, as a child, as a baby, when you came into this world, a baby does not have a conscious mind. A baby does not have a conscious mind. A baby cannot think. Baby cannot think, I want to go for a walk. I am hungry. I am this. I am that. The baby cannot do that. The baby acts instinctively because that's how the baby was programmed. It's a human, so it runs off instinct. But what happens is whatever information that baby is around will start to sink into the subconscious mind because there's no filter. The conscious mind is a filter. Like right now, remember we talked about that mental faculty, reason? Remember we talked about reason. Reason is your filter that says, this is true, this is not true. Or you start to play in the middle with, this could be true, let me entertain that idea. You see, most of you that are still on this call right now watching me live is because your reasoning says, I may not know what DeAndre is saying, but it sounds good and I like it and I know that it's true. Why? That's your reasoning faculty. Babies don't have that. Children don't have that up until the age of about 7 to 9 years old. Once they get to about 7 to 9 years old, they start to build that reasoning. But until then, everything that surrounds that baby starts to be imprinted on that baby's subconscious mind. That the idea of language, right? Why did some people speak English and some people speak Spanish? I literally have Mexican blood inside of me, but yet my Spanish is so. I actually learned Spanish in Colombia. Why is it? Because as a child, my grandparents who raised me, they try to speak Spanish to me, but ultimately we spoke English in the house. So even though I have Mexican blood, my language says English. Why? That's what was impressed on me as a child. Why was it that I struggled financially? Because that's where I grew up. My grandparents never earned more than, combined maybe 120, 150,000 a year, both of them combined. I didn't know anybody that was earning multiple six figures. Well, we lived in a medium household. So guess what? Going as an adult, I started to think and act like a person that earned about the same. Thinking that, driving like a regular C-class Mercedes was wealthy. That's literally what I grew up with. I remember when I was 19 years old and I joined a network marketing company, and they talked about that I could earn $30,000 a year. And I remember thinking to myself, nobody earns $30,000 a year. I literally thought that. Why? I never saw anybody earning that kind of money. Paradigm, boom, planted in me since a child. And now you can start to see there's millions of habits that will be impressed on this child. And eventually it starts to form this idea, or remember, it's the lens. It's the lens in which they see the world. Where does racism comes from? Racism isn't learned. It's imprinted on a child via that thinking pattern for the outside world. And guess what? When you go into business, business will expose your paradigm. So here you are saying, I want to earn more money. I want to have more time freedom, financial freedom, have more purpose, passion, and profit. But your paradigm says, no, you don't. This is what you're programmed for. And you bust your ass thinking you need to read more books, put in more effort, but ultimately it's not what you need to do. You need to reprogram that mind of yours. You need to change the ideas in which you see the world. And when you do that, it's like literally, remember, taking that governor off the car. You go from having being in first gear in that Ferrari to being able to let it loose and hit 200 miles per hour. You see, guys, I know I'm passionate and everything because that's what happened to me. That's what happened to go from 0 to 100K a month overnight, literally, because it wasn't that I worked harder. It wasn't that I read more books. It's that I changed this money paradigm here. I changed this. I started to impress a new idea that I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned 100K a month, but I didn't do it with my mind consciously. I did it with my heart. I started to speak the language of the subconscious mind. On the next call, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about speaking the language of the subconscious mind. Today, all we're doing is we're becoming more aware that, hey, no matter how hard you work, it all comes down to your programming. What is it ultimately that I do is I don't help people. I help build successful people. And when I build a successful person, they go out there and whatever they touch becomes successful. In this case, business, and they earn more money. I don't have to know your business, your sales, your recruiting, your products, or I don't have to learn any of that of what you do. I just have to help you understand how this beautiful mind of yours works. And once you do that and take it by the reins, and you start to rewire this program that has you set for failure, and you start to reset it for success, overnight, you will see a huge shift in the results that you get. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah? You guys liking the call so far? Yeah. Man, I'm curious. What's your biggest takeaway so far? Comment it below. We are rocking. We are rolling. And I have a question for you. Does anybody have any questions right now? This would be a good opportunity for any of you that have questions. I think while you guys are typing out your questions, you can put them in the chat. Okay, put your questions in the chat. I think on the next call, I think we should really get into some what do you call it? Into the speaking the language of the subconscious mind. Do you guys want some secrets of that? You guys want some secrets on how to actually speak to the subconscious mind? Here's a hint. We're going to talk about brain waves, okay? Brain waves. When you start to understand brain waves, you'll start to understand how to actually speak to the subconscious mind. I'm kind of curious, guys that are watching. Do you want me to create a Telegram group, like a private Telegram group specifically for us? Like that way, you guys can watch me, when I go live and stuff, and kind of have like a little community going. I think that'd be kind of cool. Here's what I'll do is I'll create a group chat. Most of you guys now are maybe see me on my Instagram or one of my clients or something, I'll create a separate group chat just for the Saxon Show podcast. That way we can have discussions and talk about this within the group chat. Okay. So does anybody have any questions so far? All right. So if we don't have any questions, guys, here's what we're going to do now. If you haven't worked with me before, right? You're not a client or anything like that. What would it look like if I helped you turn your annual income into your monthly income? What would that look like? For at this point now, we have talked about goals, we've talked about the paradigm. But at the end of the day, sometimes, we need a little bit of help and coaching. So, when I met Bob Proctor and I went to his event, he said that you need three things to actually take all this information and get results with it. Here's the three things that he said, if you want to write this down. Number one is you need proper information. You need the right information. That's the first thing you need. Number two is you need effective coaching. You need somebody that can go in here and start to impress new ideas onto you. Whether you want to work with Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Joe Dispenza, it's irrelevant, or work with me, the concept still is you need somebody impressing new ideas onto you. And number three, you need to do it over an effective, consistent period of time, spaced repetition of this information over time so you can change the programming. That's what we'll talk about on the next call, is about repetition, speaking the language of the mind, speaking it with feeling, all this stuff. We'll talk about this language of the paradigm. Today is just becoming aware of it. Next call, how to change it. So that's what we basically do in our coaching program. I work with my clients, whether, for 6 months, whether it's in a group setting or if you want to work one-on-one, you can actually schedule a call with me in the description below. It'll go straight to my calendar. You fill out an application and then see if it's a good fit for you to either work with me one-on-one or to join our community in our group chat for the next 6 months. Okay, so you guys can see that inside of the bio in the description below. But other than that, guys, if we have no final questions, that's going to be the end of today's call. I want to thank you guys so much for getting this out there. Like I said, we're building a community. What I'll do is I'll create a Telegram chat for us. That way we can get together. You guys can add people to the Telegram chat. We can start to grow it. And I can't wait for us to hit the first 100 people. Let's see how many people we can invite, right? Because I'm doing my best, sharing it on my personal profile. YouTube is sharing it, via YouTube. I have my YouTube channel as well. But then also, ultimately, we're going to grow because of people like you watching live, part of the community that want us to grow, that want to be part of something special. Because the people that are watching here, one day we're going to transition to an event. You'll be able to come meet everybody live. We're building something that you can be a part of, something that we stand for. What is it that we stand for? We stand for serving people. We stand for going out there and doing what we love. What good is earning millions of dollars if you hate your life, hate your family, and have toxic relationships? No, we want to have beautiful relationships with ourselves, with our creator, with our family, with our clients, with our business partners. We want to be able to do what we love, have passion about the things that we love. And then we want to earn a lot of money in the process. That's what we stand for. We want to help people doing what we love and earn millions of dollars in the process. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 3 of the Saxon Show. Tune in on Friday, 9 p.m. Yes, you can go out, you can be at dinner, or you can be here with me 9 p.m. where we'll teach you how to actually speak to that subconscious mind so you can change the thermostat and go from 71 degrees or 71,000 a year up to 100,000 or 100 grand a month. Let's talk about it, family. Love you guys so much. Thank you for your time being here on the show. Share this, and I'll see you guys on Friday at 9 p.m. Take care, guys.